100 days in Minecraft hardcore Bedrock. A challenge that has definitely not been done by every single Minecraft YouTuber. In this video, my plan is to defeat the Ender Dragon, which I've never done before, get full netherite and an elytra. Let's get it. By the way, this is the first ever video on my YouTube channel. If y'all enjoyed, please show your support down below. So I spawn into this acacia biome and I start collecting some wood. We're gonna get about 9 logs, but I'm just gonna edit the bit out and just, you'll only see 2 logs being cut out. We're then gonna grab some planks and then we're gonna craft a crafting table because we always need that. We're then gonna craft some sticks and then make a pickaxe, and then finally we're gonna get some cobblestone. This part is usually the boring part. After a while, we finally got 16 cobblestone. We then got a sword, axe and a pickaxe, and then we also need to get a furnace. Our first slaughter of the world will be this pig. May he rest in pork chops. I then stumbled across this cave and was wondering how deep it was, but for now we will just settle for coal. Our first coal of the world. Here is a juicy montage of this big ass vein I saw up ahead. Probably won't need coal for the rest of the series. Our first bit of iron of the series, nothing too special. And yeah, that's about it. We'll probably look for more if we can find any. This is where my base will be and majority of my farms as well. If y'all ever watched How to Train Your Dragon, this perfectly resembles Berk, and that's sort of the idea I had in my mind at the moment. There's another juicy big as coal vein. This spider just came out of nowhere and just started randomly attacking it. It's also our first mob and we defeat it with ease. This is gonna be our little base for now. Nothing much, just chill. And I got too scared, so we're just going to hide underneath here and just hope for the best. Here's a little 200 IQ move. Watch. Wait for it. Keep watching. Boom. So good. I changed my mind and decided to go up scouting a bit, just to map the terrain and see what the future holds for us. It is officially the first day now and we found some sheep. Here's a nice montage. I then decided to get some wood before I start exploring to find some mines. I then found a pretty big mine, went down this little water thing, and now we're just gonna keep exploring. So far it doesn't seem too bad. I'ma just let the video play for y'all. I went to bed and rested my head for day 2. I woke up on day 2 and decided to craft a shield because we're gonna need that for the creepers. And then here's another coal mining montage. I then kept on exploring the cave onto this cobblestone. I thought I found a monster spawner, but then I realized I got catfish. It was just lava mixed with water. I then kept exploring and found this even bigger cave in the cave. I wonder what we can find. I finally got full iron armor, and I'll just say it was so useful. Finally putting that shield to good use. Here's a little mining montage with just a bunch of variety of ores. After a while we got our first diamond pickaxe. Now it's time to go and find some obsidian. Before we found some obsidian, I found a monster spawner. The possibilities with this spawner is endless. The loot on the other hand was man. On day 4, we nearly had our first near-death encounter. We then found some obsidian, but I'm not gonna bore you to death, so here's just a time lapse. And that's the final block of 64. I then kept exploring until I found a skeleton spawner. This spawner I will probably use the most for bone farms. I then found this little crystal area. This is the first time me seeing this, and I'll tell you, it was not worth the hype. At day 7 I started mining towards the surface, and we're finally gonna leave and return back home. I then made a little nerd poll to tell myself where this mine was. Spoiler alert, I never used this mine again. I finally arrived home. Immediately I started smelting all the ores I found from the little mining trip. I then made a little enchanting table, and yeah, that'll help us a lot. I then peacefully went to sleep on the night of day 7. Day 8 I decided to make a nether portal because I want to explore the nether, but I'm very scared of the nether. I turned the portal on and in we go. I spawned in possibly the worst biome to spawn in the nether and immediately decided to construct a stone structure to protect myself from gas. Just a couple more touches and it is officially complete. I started scouting around the nether, placing down torches. I don't remember why. This doesn't really affect the skeleton spawn rate at all, so this was pretty dumb of me. After that, because I'm a pussy, I decided to go back home. Day 9, I just started looking for saplings. I don't remember why, but my first sapling I collected was acacia. My next sapling was a jungle sapling, as you can see here. I then started exploring for a dark oak sapling. To be honest, looking back, this was a huge waste of time. After a while, we got our dark oak sapling. Another near-death experience. Day 10, I found these llamas and decided to get their leads. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but I finally got some bookshelves and placed them by my enchanting table. Just a bit more wood. After a while, I finally decided to make the foundation of my house, which will not be complete until day 100. Day 11, I started on my farm. I don't know why it took me so long to start. I started exploring the lands for villagers. I don't know why, but this took so long. While exploring, I found a sea guardian palace. I got a bit close and I forgot that you could get mining fatigue, as you can see here. Yo, like, where? On day 12, while I was exploring, I found this jungle pyramid. For me, this is the first time seeing one of these, so I was interested on what would be inside. In the pyramid, the loot wasn't half bad. After about 2,000 blocks, we finally found a village. On the night of day 12, we went to sleep.
Excuse me!
On day 13, I decided to gather all the hay bales of the village to up my food production. I also found this cherry blossom tree nearby, so I decided to get some of its saplings. And when I mean some, I mean a lot of saplings. Day 13 to 16 was just me traveling back to my home with these two villagers. This part is really boring, so a lot of it will be edited out. I was planning on making a cuss counter for every time I cussed. These villagers were that hard to transport, but I decided to leave it because it would take too much time and effort, and I want to upload this video on time. After about 3 days, on day 16, we finally arrived home. We're just gonna leave these villagers here until I build them a home. We're just gonna make them a little wooden shack here. And that's the wooden shack done. Day 18, I did a little something dumb in the head. Wait, chill. I decided to just eat the bread instead of saving it for the villagers breeding. After that whole incident, I brought the villagers into their new home for what would be for the next 10 years. I feel like I should move away. On the night of day 18, I saw something I've never seen before. A baby zombie on top of a pig attacking a baby villager. Something you don't see every day. I also decided to plant those cherry blossom saplings I collected 6 nights ago. My ass thought you only needed 1 sapling to grow 1 dark oak tree. At least it worked fine with the jungle sapling. I decided to explore the big ocean for 3 singular dark oak saplings. At the night of day 19, we finally got them. At the dawn of day 20, we finally arrived home. We finally get to plant our dark oak trees now. Just planting more bookshelves now. At the night of day 20, we finally decided to make a cow farm. I also found a zombie with full iron armor, and I decided to play a 200 IQ move. Just get in the hole, mate. Place a bit of water. After a while, we finally get it drowned. Just finish him off, and we finally get our full iron armor. I don't know how this is in day 21, but we finally finish our cow farm. I decided to spend more time with my villagers and to make one a Fletcher for more money. I saw one of these wandering salesmen, and he actually had pretty decent trades, man. 5 emeralds for an invis potion. I decided to go out to herd some cows up for my cow farm. I need a lot of food and some leather for my enchantment table. Herding the cows was not easy. We met too many mobs that made the overall journey more difficult. After a while, we finally got our 1 cow in the cow farm. I saw these animals that are called scoots. I heard you can make dog armor with their scoots, but I don't know how to work them. By the way, we got a dog. If I forgot to mention it, that's my bad. The night of day 22 was just way more difficult. As you can see, we're getting attacked by a skeleton, there's a creeper, then there's a zombie, and it's just everything that's bad. Day 23, after that little battle, we finally brought our cows home and we can finally start a cow farm. I also wanted to name my dog something special. I decided to name him Hedgervana for one of my OG viewers on Twitch. Welcome to the world, Hedgervana. Speaking of Twitch, I also have a Twitch where I stream nearly daily and frequently. If you are interested in watching content that's entertaining and where I'm not socially awkward, there's a link in the description, so please check me out. I need to feed my family. But anyways, back to the video. I'm finally making the actual foundation of my house. A couple more blocks and it's finally done. Time for a bit more money. Slowly working our cow farm up. Day 24, I set up the wooden pillars of my house. Wanted to get more flint to make more fletching tables. One fletching table. Boom. Spent a bit more time with the cows. On the night of day 24, my controller ran out of batteries and for some reason it decided to head this direction, into the ocean. The entire process going through my mind was that I myself and I didn't know what to do, but then I finally realized if I turned off my console, then I would exit the game and then I would be able to save my world. While I was loading in, I hold the A button, which basically ascends, and that basically saved my character. We simply moved on from that incident and just spent more time with the cows. Day 25, we went out of the house for a bit and found some jungle saplings. To be honest with you, I don't remember why I went out and went exploring, but we're just gonna go with it. I was in an acacia biome, but then I realized I was wearing the wrong skin. That's much better. On the night of day 25, we arrived home, but I met a creeper at my home. Cows. Just getting more money from the Fletchers. Cows. Day 26, I decided to go into the nether to try and find some netherite. After a bit of mining, I realized this way of mining was very ineffective. So on day 27, I decided to make some wool farm and just trap some sheep in here and we should be able to get a lot of wool. Just getting some glass to keep the sheep locked in, but to also see through them just to see, like, you know, how the whole farm works. Day 28, I went out to find some sheep. I saw 2 white sheep and 1 black sheep, but to be honest, we'll probably only take the white sheep back. We finally arrived home and I brought all the sheep back, but we dyed the black sheep white. Getting the sheep in was a little bit of a struggle. And before all the vegans come in, yes, I did feed all of the sheep. And the farm works pretty well if I do say so myself. I ended up changing my mind and decided to use the wool for beds for the villagers, just so we can have more villagers. And as you can see, it works pretty well. Just a bit more money. I wanted to get more bread just so we can breed the villagers. Additional bookshelves are now added to the enchantment table. On day 29, I wanted to get a mending book, so I got a lectern and we'll see how we do. Now starts the rigorous process of actually getting the mending book. On day 30, we finally got the mending book, and as you can see, I was very excited. And we have got mending W's in the chat. And that's 1 mending book. On the night of day 30, we finally added some walls to my house. And on day 31, we finally completed it. I also added some dark oak logs. On the night of day 31, I decided I wanted more money for my villagers. But while checking them, the biggest catastrophe happened. You got everything but like... What the f***? What the f*** happened? As you can see, I was annoyed, but mostly confused about what happened. My best guess would be that there was not enough lighting when I first made the villager base. But then it hit me. If I wanted to save some of the villagers, I would have to go into the nether, the place I hated the most by the way, to collect netherwort, so I can make potions that could save my villagers. I decided to round up every last bit of courage I had and to prepare for the nether. Here goes nothing. I decided to pick a direction and just dig in that direction in hopes I find something like a nether fortress or anything remotely close to that. After a while, I was somehow lucky enough to find one. I immediately ransacked all of their netherwood supplies. This is my first interaction with blazes in this world, and I'll tell you this, they were beyond intimidating. After fighting with this skeleton, I immediately got scared and decided to take cover. After leaving my little hidey hole, I was greeted by a blaze that did incredible damage, by the way. Look at that. Too close. After a bit of inner peace, we finally located one of the blaze spawners that we needed. We then put some torches around the spawner just so we could keep the blaze population under control, and that way we can control how many blaze rods and how many blazes can get out. I then made a mini farm hoping that it would be very effective and good against the blazes. Spoiler alert, it kinda worked but kinda didn't. As you can see, I started to get swarmed by the blazes.
As I told you, this farm was not as effective. We made a new approach to the farm, and this way was way more effective, and we started to get lots and lots of blazes. After this last blaze, I immediately started running away and crying like a little girl. I immediately started running for the exit to get the hell out of here. After a bit of a trek, we finally arrived to the portal that will take us home. I went by the villager base just to check on my villagers. Hope they're doing okay. Time for some premium brewing content, I stuttered. After a while, the weakness potions were finally completed. I went over the villager base, getting ready to save them, but then I realized I forgot my golden apples. I started splashing them with the weakness potions, and then I started feeding them the golden apples. But then I did the most dumbest thing I have ever thought. I do not know why. It was like, what, 12 AM at the time of recording? So like, yeah, cut me some slack, bro.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, villager dudes. There was only one flippin' villager left, man. For f***'s sake. I decided to move past that event and decided to make more bookshelves for my enchanting table. Nearly there at the level 30 enchanting table, found these 2 cows astray, so I decided to bring them back to my farm. In you go. I made more bone meal just so I can grow my plants and just to collect more seeds. Cows. I decided to bring back this one villager back from his misery and to bring him back to life. After a while, he was finally back and kicking. As you can see, he was pretty ungrateful. Just a bit more money. Even though he came back from the dead, he was still a greedy little I ended up buying from him still. It dawned on me that we had to get more villagers, so let's set sail. While traveling to our first village, I realized there was a second village even closer to our home, and I feel so dumb. The whole process was the same as the first time, so we're just gonna skip ahead of this and boom, we're here. While handling these villagers, I realized the lectern had a very good trade on his hands. To be honest with you, I don't know why I did this, but I decided to make the librarian into a farmer instead. I got all the bread from the farmer just so we could breed the villagers. Cows. I remember I made a mushroom farm, so I decided to check it out, and it actually works pretty well. I didn't really need bamboo, but I decided to plant some anyway. Found a singular log in a tree. Odd. I also needed some sticks for money, so I just chopped down some trees. Cows. We ended up breeding enough cows, so I decided to kill some and to collect some food. Resulting in the killing of those cows, we got more leather, which helped us get more bookshelves. We finally got level 30 enchanting table, and this was our first enchant. This is our second. Just a bit more money. Day 42, I decided to make a mini chicken farm. I'll explain later. In you go. Day 43, the reason I made a chicken coop was just so I can make an automatic cook chicken farm. After a while, it was finally complete. The way this cook chicken farm works is that live chickens will be on top of the hopper that's connected to the dispenser. The eggs laid by the chickens will then be shooed in that slab space. Since baby chickens are 1 slab tall, once they grow up into adult chickens, they will be cooked in the lava and then go down into the hopper into the chest. Just putting some eggs into the dispenser. Now here comes the hard part. I kid you not, this took all night into day 44. Cows. I started a strip mine just to find some easy access to diamonds. Looking back now, I realized this was a very bad way to find diamonds. Deep slate takes way too long to mine, dude. Here, as you can see, we find our first batch of diamonds. We even find some more diamonds. This was complete luck, by the way. I decided to just cut off a bit of a deep slate, and then I just found these diamonds by chance. It was a singular 1 diamond though. We even found some more diamonds. After a long mining trip, we eventually mined to where we first started, like a little circle. I didn't mine any of those diamonds because I wanted fortune first. Boom. After equipping fortune, we got a decent amount of diamonds. Not a lot though. After all that, I realized that I was very low on iron, so I decided to make a bedrock iron farm, specifically made for bedrock. We needed to make a 5x5 hole, and that apparently took the whole day of day 50. 1, 2, 3, 19, 20.
we're gonna use fletching tables. 18, 19, 20. Now the actual harder bit of actually transporting the villagers, just so we can make iron golems spawn. We're then gonna seal them in just like Satoru Gojo. I don't remember why, but I figured I needed wood for something. I also needed a bunch of bread to actually breed the villagers. Just a bit more money. And now the Hunger Games shall begin. Just a bit more digging. I don't remember why I needed to do this, but we're just gonna go with it. We then add the double chest. We then add 4 hoppers, almost like a star shape in a way. We also add soul campfires because they do more damage. I also added more hoppers for efficiency reasons, I guess. And now the final product. Added some water to make the iron golems go into the lava. Just a quick checkup on the villagers, and as you can see, those 2 villagers had fun. I also wanted to tame 5 cats because apparently that decreases the spawn rate of cats instead of iron golems. After a while, we finally got her. Day 54, I just AFK'd and waited for iron golems to spawn in. It started to glitch a bit, so I just resetted the whole farm and hoping that it would work. Also, an iron golem ended up spawning above the ground, so I guess he's the protector of the farm. Day 55, I wanted to make a storage system because all the chests above the house thingy, I forgot, is fully crammed now, so it's annoying. Slowly but surely it'll be nearly complete. And boom, it's complete. I also wanted to make a faster way to travel so that I can go up and down without any delays. That's the word. And look at that, it's finally complete. At the night of day 56, I only did a little bit of ender pearl farming. To be honest with you, I don't know why I didn't just trade with piglins, but I guess I just decided to do this way. Day 57, I literally just did nothing. In this clip, this is literally all I got for day 57. Day 58, I just grinded for top-notch enchantment books, like Unbreaking 3 and Looting 3. I decided to put flame on my bow just to make it a little bit stronger. Silk touch was also an option for me for my diamond axe. On the night of day 58, I decided to get more wood. Day 59, I got more money. I also got a very huge trade, feather falling 4. Boom. Boom. We added looting 3 onto my sword, and as you can see, it worked so good. Just a bit more money. This is why sometimes smaller is better. Bamboo is low-key goated, I can't lie. I started to terraform a bit just to create a bit more space. Money! Got us some aqua affinity. Boom. Decided to cut down some Japanese trees. Just a bit more money. Didn't even have a book for the enchantment book. Boom. From day 66 to 68, I just AFK'd at the iron golem farm. Day 68, I decided to make a skeleton farm because of a lack of bones and XP. Once again, deep slate is way too annoying to mine. We started to mine where the skeletons would be pushed down using water. We're then digging downwards 23 blocks just so the skeletons will be at 1 HP to improve efficiency. On day 69, the farm was finally complete for operation. Day 70 was just AFK, but as you can see in the next clip, the farm is going pretty well. On the night of day 71, I was going back to the surface, but I also made some breathing holes, just so we won't drown when going up and down. On day 72, I finally got protection 4 on my diamond boots. I then combined feather falling 4 with my protection 4 diamond boots, just so we can fall down from any height to be safe. Well, not any height, but you know what I mean. I then put aqua affinity on my helmet, and then I went out to test it out. After that, I then added respiration 3 onto my helmet as well. I then combined unbreaking 3 onto my diamond sword, and then unbreaking 3 on my diamond axe. I then combined unbreaking 3 with my boots, but I nearly managed to get unbreaking 3 on my helmet as well. We're back, and now we can put unbreaking 3 on my helmet. We're now gonna retire the iron helmet and the iron boots. You will be missed. Okay, before we go into the next day, I just want to say this. This is not me being lazy with editing, but I'm missing more footage from day 73 to 79, which is a big margin. I just want to apologize if it creates confusion, but basically in that period, I just got full diamond armor with some mediocre enchants. Once again, apologies for the inconsistent days, and I will try to do better in the future. On day 80, I wanted more netherite equipment, so I went into the nether to explore for bastions. Spoiler alert, we didn't find anything. On day 82, I saw a portal in the nether and was curious on what would be on the other side. So I ignited it, and this is what I saw. It better not be nighttime, man. Okay, we are... Oh my god. For some reason I thought this portal would bring me home, but instead I landed in a big iceberg. So I decided to collect all its ice. Well, as much ice as I can. After that, I also bartered with some piglins. and I got not a whole lot of good things. I only got a couple pearls, but yeah, then that was it for 82 and 83. On day 84, we finally arrived home to our portal. I used some of the magma cream I got from the nether to make into some fire res potions. It'll be useful for when I go hunting for netherite. Just a bit more money. Day 85, I decided to upgrade the sheep farm a bit just so we can get more wool. You already know yourself. I thought of putting soul speed on my diamond boots, but the XP inflation is getting to me. Day 87, I just decided to get a bit more money. 2 more unbreaking books. I decided to make the family a little bigger as well, because you know, that's always nice. We needed more XP, so I went over to the skeleton farm and AFK'd there for a bit. We could have got protection 4 on my leggings, but I'm leaving with disappointment. On the night of day 91, we finally gonna find the end portal. On day 92, we were at this village, and turns out the portal is right underneath this village. While digging downwards, this llama surprised me out of nowhere. After a while, we finally reached the stronghold. There was also a spider spawner in there. We got into this library and there's nothing much in it, since I don't go to libraries. I kid you not, this took so long to find the portal and I still can't find it. After a whole day, we finally found it.
Let's go! We actually found it! Oh my god. W's in the chat, man. W's in the chat. Go away. Oh my god, that took way too long. Okay.
We didn't have all the Eye of Ender, so we just returned back home. Day 94 to 96 was just me bartering for Ender Pearls. We arrived home and crafted 4 more Eye of Ender. To be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed in myself, because I didn't do a lot in the last few days of the 100-day hardcore world. Day 99, I just did what I love most. I fed the chickens, and I did something else I love even more. Cows. We finally got that protection 4 on our leggings. On the night of day 99, I peacefully watched the sunset and exchanged a few words with my stream.
Shh. Watch as the sun sets to day 99. From day 99 to day 100. This will be the last time. Why'd it go back up, bro?
On day 100, I decided to make a grave to commemorate all the failed attempts I made with the previous worlds. Yeah, that looks about good. We then made a sign, and another sign that says you will be missed. We placed down some flowers, and we held our silence for 1 or 2 minutes. I kid you not, that's literally all we did. And yeah, that's my 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore Bedrock Edition. I'm a little disappointed that I completed none of the goals I set before, but if you would like to see another 100 days in this world, please let me know in the comments below. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I would be lying if I said I had fun editing this video. But I would love to make more videos like this, but I would first want all of your opinions on this first. If you enjoyed, show your support down below, and I'll see you later.